Thanks for joining us today on NEMC Channel 6. Today we're going to talk about a lot of great events that are going to be going on around Memphis this spring on today's Focus program. Memphis was lucky enough to be chosen for the Inside Out program by the Detroit Institute of Arts. And today we have as our guest, Katherine Dimond from the DIA. Hi, Katherine.
Hi, how are you?
Thanks for coming out.
Oh, thanks for inviting me. It's fun.
Great to have you out here.
Thanks.
So what do you do at the DIA?
So I'm the Director of Community Relations, and our job really is the best in the world. I've got a small group of people that get to go out into the community and find ways to help people connect with the Detroit Institute of Arts. Inside Out is one of the key ways that we do that. As you know, Inside Out is a project that takes some of our most famous works of art, reproduces them in very high quality formats that sometimes people think are real, and we take them and we send them out throughout the community, and the idea is really to help make these little walkable galleries, and so people can make their personal connection with art in their own neighborhood.
I mean, let's face it, we are quite a ways from downtown, so some people around here, it's quite a trip, and it's quite you really have to plan out to make it all the way down there. So I know there's a lot of people that are really looking forward to this. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of events that are being planned, and we'll talk about that a little bit later.
Great.
But so it sounds like you love your job.
Yeah.
How did the Inside Out program actually get started?
So it started in 2010 at the Detroit Institute of Arts. But I'd like to say that it was our idea, but in fact it wasn't. We did steal the idea from across the pond in England. The National Gallery implemented a program called the Grand Tour. And what they did is they put reproductions all over downtown London, and it became so popular that our director saw it and thought this was a great idea. At the time, we didn't have the technology to really reproduce it in a high enough quality way, so we kind of tabled it for a little while and decided in 2010 that we would launch it to celebrate our 125th anniversary as a museum, as a way to share our collection with the people around the community. In that year, we only took 40 works of art out to the community, and we put one in each city all over the region. And people really loved it. The idea was to sort of surprise people where they were in their community. Hey, why is that Van Gogh on the side of that Starbucks coffee? And it became so popular that we decided we'd continue. Every year that it goes on, we keep saying, eventually this is going to lose interest. And every year we have more applications than we can possibly manage. So we were thrilled when Memphis applied this past year, because I don't think we've ever been out quite as far as Memphis. We've been here to Armada, but I don't think we've ever been quite as far as Memphis. So we were really excited when they applied. Well,
there's a lot of buzz around town, that's for sure, that people are excited that this is going to happen. So how is this all possible? How do you fund this great program?
Yeah, we're really fortunate. The Knight Foundation has funded this project for us for the last 4 years. They are extremely supportive of programs to help engage the community with the arts in particular. Knight Arts in particular focuses on arts. If you probably saw some of the videos of people doing opera in the subways in New York City,
sure,
or opera in malls across the country. They focus on those type of things. They call them spontaneous acts of culture, and the Inside Out project is an example of that. One of the things the Knight Foundation has said about it is it's one of the best examples that they've seen across the country in helping people engage with the art. And they love it so much that they're going to be working with us to take it national with them to other Knight communities. The Knight Foundation focuses on communities that had at one point Knight Ridder newspapers, and so there's 8 communities around the country that we'll be working with.
So we're pretty lucky as far as that goes.
Super lucky.
We just happen to live in the right place for this to happen
for
us.
We do.
So I know there's going to be a lot of events planned around Memphis, and I know you said you started with only 40, so every year you add a few more, or?
Well, actually the first year when we put in individual locations, we realized that there was so much more potential to this project if we clumped them together. And so that second year in 2011, which is when we were here in Armada, we really doubled the installation size. So we have 80 works of art that we take out to the community each time. Each round is only 3 months long. And the idea is to have people love it, but also miss it when it's gone, we hope that they want it back, you know, so it doesn't become something that people are used to seeing on the side of a building. We want people to be surprised by it. We want people to be interested and stop and take a moment out of their day to take a look at it. So we decided we'd group them together in little mini galleries, and when we did that, we realized that the community became much more engaged. We had downtown development people scheduling tours of their community. We had librarians scheduling bike rides around their community. We had senior centers scheduling tours of not only their installation in their community, but in another community, so people can learn about a different community. So it really became an engagement point at that point, and it's taken off since then.
It's obviously very popular. One of the things that I really like too is, as part of the program, we're actually going to get a map with all the other communities who have it. So if someone comes to Memphis and they say, wow, this is really neat, they can actually pick up a map and go to some of the other communities and see what they have. They will have different displays, right?
Yeah, everybody's got a unique display. And I'll have to say, even if we were ever to come back to the same city, if we were ever to come back to Armada, for example, you wouldn't have the same works of art. So every time we mix them up and we put up essentially a brand new installation. So every time you do it, you're going to be surprised.
Okay. We're going to take a little break here, and when we come back, we're going to talk about some of the works of art that we're going to have here in Memphis, and I hope you stay with us. Thanks.
Roll up slow, let your head be last. 3rd time's a charm. 2, I just picked some of my favorite music for you guys to work out to today. Hope you like it. 7 and 8. You guys did great on those. See how easy it was? Just everyday stuff. You can just move wherever you are. Facing you again, reach the arms out to the side. We're going to go into a side stretch. 2, 3, 4. Keep your shoulders in line with each other and feel the stretch lateral. And lift from here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Stretch it. Thank you so much for moving with me today. I know you're going to feel better. Don't underestimate the power of stretching. It's so important to you. And you'll feel better, you'll feel younger, I promise. Lift and push. 1, 2.
Hi, welcome back to the Focus program today. We are lucky enough to have Katherine Dimond, the Director of Community Relations at the Detroit Institute of Arts.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great.
Good. Glad to be here.
So let's talk about these works of art that we're going to get here in Memphis. How exactly do they reproduce these? Is it? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
That's all right. It's spectacular. I think that people are often surprised and often ask us if they're real works of art. And although we'd love to be able to take real works of art out to the community, we obviously can't put them outside in the middle of a park somewhere. So they are in fact digital reproductions, very, very high quality. In fact, some of the works of art that you'll have in Memphis are actually, if you see them in the museum, are actually reliefs. So they actually stick out from the wall a little bit. They're more three-dimensional. And when you see the reproduction, you can actually see that. You can't feel it as a 3D object, but you can really see it. High quality digital reproduction. We have a fantastic company that we work with called Levanway Signs. They're in Southfield. They do fantastic work, and they digitally reproduce them for us. They're in vinyl, almost like a billboard, really. And then we put a real frame on them. So a high quality frame. And then it's coated, the entire thing is coated in a marine grade polyurethane. So it really withstands the temperature and the weather and that sort of thing. So yeah, they look real, but they're not.
It's one of the great things about technology. It only gets better, doesn't it?
Yeah, we had a great story. When we first launched this project, we had a phone call from a woman at a park, and she said, did you lose a work of art? Because there's one here in the middle of this park. And we said, no, it's part of our Inside Out project. She said, oh, well, I'm going to go grab my husband. He's been guarding it because I wanted to make sure that you didn't lose something at the museum. So, you know, again, people really are going to see them and think that they're real. But we encourage them to come to the museum and see the real thing.
I've noticed that on like some of the oil paintings, when you really look close at it, you can actually see the brush strokes, and it really is amazing when you get up close to these reproductions.
Yeah. One of the ones that you're going to have here in Memphis is called the Dragon of Marduk from the Ishtar Gate in Babylon. And this is the one that I was talking about that is almost, it's a 3D relief if you see it in the museum. It's terracotta tiles, and it's about 4 feet, I think, by 5 feet. It's really big. And you can literally see the tiles. You really want to touch it. When you come to the museum, you're not allowed to touch it, but you're certainly allowed to touch this one. You can really see the definition of it. The Dragon of Marduk in the Ishtar Gate was in Babylon about 2,500 years ago, in 500 BCE, I think. And when you see it, just think about this huge gate that would have been constructed as the main entry point into Babylon. And this Dragon of Marduk, there would have been multiples of them covering the entire gate. And it was really designed to show the power and the imposing nature of the Babylonians at the time. So we're really, really fortunate, the DIA, to have this work of art at the museum.
I was lucky enough to go down for the orientation, and it's pretty nearby where the orientation was,
Yeah.
so we were able to go and look at it. And it really is, it's something to see. I mean, it's really amazing that it's tiles, and when you step back from it, I mean, it just jumps off at you, and you can just tell that whoever made it, they took a lot of time, and they were obviously incredibly skilled at what they did.
Yeah, and the coating, if you remember the glaze, I should say, is bright blue, really, really bright blue, and that pigment is lapis lazuli, which is only found in Afghanistan. So again, using that bright blue and offsetting the gold of the dragon really showed the power of the Babylonians. So as you saw, it really does feel like it's leaping off the wall.
So that's like what they made jewelry out of, lapis lazuli, right? Yeah.
Absolutely.
So obviously, a lot of resources were used up to cover the gate of Babylon.
Absolutely. Very cool.
Well, we're really glad that we were able to have you out here today.
Great.
And everybody around Memphis is really looking forward to the Inside Out program. Is there anything you wanted to let the people know about the DIA or any of the programs you have coming up?
Yeah, for sure. We love to take the DIA out and share it with the community, but we also encourage people to come to the museum, and we're looking for ways to help break down some of the barriers to access. Obviously, Memphis is a long way from Detroit. It takes a while to get there. I don't know how long it takes, but it's a bit of a drive.
It's a job.
So we have a new program called County Days, where we'll actually be sending a bus out across Macomb County and inviting people to come to the museum. So you can find those dates on the DIA's website, on the calendar, and we encourage people to hop on the bus and come on down to the museum. The next couple of dates will be in May, and then we'll do another one in July. So that's a great opportunity for people to come to the museum. And just, we look for ways to connect with the community. And so we look forward to hearing from you. If there's any questions, particularly about Inside Out. Inside Out launches in April, I think, here in Memphis. We'll be up through the end of July, and then we'll take everything down, and we have another installation that will start in other communities in August that will run through October. And then we'll start planning for next summer. So other communities that might be interested in participating should look for the call for participation, which will come out probably in about September. People will start applying for 2016's installation. So just wanted to let people know if they're interested in applying, keep an eye out for that, and we'll be taking applications in September.
When I was there for the orientation, it seems to me that they were talking about a program also where if you could put together a senior group or a group that the DA would actually send a bus to pick up your group and bring you down for the day?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm glad you reminded me. As a result of the millage that was successful in 2012, the taxpayers in Macomb, Oakland, and Wayne County have certain benefits, obviously, to come for the museum. One of them is general admission. Everybody in those counties can come to the museum free of charge as many times as they want. It doesn't include special exhibitions like Diego and Frida exhibition that's opening soon, but it does include everything else. If you want to come to the museum and there's for non-ticketed events, as many times as you want. So we encourage you to do that. We're also willing, and we look forward to sending buses to senior centers across the county. If you have a senior group that you'd like to bring to the museum, give us a call at our group reservations number and we'll send a bus to pick you up. And we also do free field trips for all school kids in the Tri-County area. So those are 3 key benefits that we have for members, or residents I should say, in Macomb County. And we encourage you to take advantage of it.
DIA.org is the website?
Absolutely.
All right, you can go on there and get some great information.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, everybody knows what the DIA is, even if you haven't been down there for a long time. I know the last time I went was the first time in a long time for me, and I'm a little bit embarrassed by that because, I mean, it was so much fun. We were there on a day when it was actually closed, so it's sort of like a night at the museum, and we got to walk around, and you know, it was fantastic for me. I was really excited about it before I went, and when I got down there, it was even better than I had pictured it to be. Yeah,
you know, Friday nights is another great time. I don't know if you've been to the museum on a Friday night. We're open late on Thursdays and Friday nights now, and there's free music on Friday nights, so you can come down and, you know, have something to eat, listen to some free music. It's a great Friday night, great experience for people too. So encourage you to come down. It is fun to be at the museum at night.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun to be down there. Well, all right, Katherine, thank you so much for coming out.
Of course, thanks for inviting me. I appreciate it.
And we'll see you next time for the next segment on the Focus program, and we're going to talk about the actual events in Memphis. We'll see you when we come back.
We have cables to walk on, and we have ropes to swing on, and it's a lot of, for their mind, it's a lot of tactile, so it's really good for them to be able to feel what they're going to be doing. And out here, as you can see, we have our brand new climbing tower, and that is also accessible for anybody in a wheelchair.
Hi, welcome back. Thanks for staying with us. We've taken our show on the road now, and we are at the Memphis Library's Museum/Community Center. I'm here with Judy from the library. Hi.
Hi.
Thanks for joining us. So we're going to talk a little bit more about the DIA Inside Out program and what we're going to have going on here in town in Memphis. So Judy, what do you exactly do here at the library?
Well, I am an assistant librarian, and I do the adult programming mostly.
So you try to make sure everybody's having fun, right?
Right, exactly.
That's what we want to do. We want to have fun. So what have we got going on? What's up first on your list here for the Inside Out program?
We have a lot of activities planned for the whole duration of the DIA art display.
Okay.
So we are expecting installation on April 6th. Throughout Memphis, and that same day we're going to have the volunteer training. Anyone who's interested in the details and the facts of the paintings and the artists will be trained on that, so that we can you know, walk around with tours throughout the display and talk about the paintings. And that is at 6 p.m. on that same day of installation.
And that's here at the library?
That's here at the library, right.
So if anybody is interested in learning more about the specific paintings that we have in town, they can come and be trained, and then they can give tours, whether it's to their friends or as one of the programs that we have going on. Or if you just want to come out and, you know, learn about the paintings from an expert from the DIA, I think even that's going to be fun.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
excited.
Gonna be fun, yeah.
I'm excited about it. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yes, I am too. It's one thing to look at a painting, but then to know, you know, the little things about who painted it or when, or, you know, different techniques or whatever that's going to be. That's the whole thing about art.
Katherine and I spoke about the Marduk from the Gates of Babylon, and to me that's just so cool. You and I got to see it actually when we went to the DIA, and it's just so different, and it's, you know, a couple thousand years old. It's all made out of tiles, and it to me it really is amazing. It's something that, you know, you can't go anywhere and see that. It's only one place, and that's at the DIA.
Right.
I'm really excited about that piece. So what's next on our list?
We're going to have a progressive walk on April 30th. This was actually Sue's idea.
Okay.
And we're going to, I'm not sure exactly where we're going to start. We'll have all this planned out. It's going to be April 30th. We will go to each painting or display, and hopefully all the businesses involved are going to be giving away something. So we will, when we go to the City Hall, there'll be cookies. Here at the library, we'll have a painting in the front yard and one in the garden, and we'll be giving away popcorn. And Nina from Art of Queen is going to give a little sample of ice cream. So we'll end at the Lions Youth Center and hopefully get something French, because their painting is Cafe in Paris, so a croissant or something. So that should be very fun. And that's rain or shine. So just wear your walking shoes and bring your umbrella.
Yeah, and it's probably the whole trip's only going to be a little over a mile, probably from start to finish.
Right, yes, and we'll have maps. We will have maps of where all the paintings are. We might not have them the day that they install, but they're telling us by April 16th we will have maps of all the paintings and where they're located.
Great.
We're fortunate to get this display in Memphis, really. We are. When we put in the application, I thought, oh, you know, there's just, every town's got to be doing it, and when we were accepted, we were just thrilled.
I know, when you told me, I was super excited about it. I've heard about it. I've never actually been to the Inside Out program, even though it was not that far away. I think in Armada a few years back, and some other places around here, but this is as far north as they've come, I think, as far as Macomb County goes.
Very lucky.
All right.
Also, okay, we're going to have, the library has planned many activities around this whole thing. We're going to do an art show at the library where people will bring in their pieces of art and leave them here, and we'll have a judge for that. There'll be a photo contest in June, I believe. The Lions, as you know, are planning a art show. An art show on Friday and Saturday in June, 5th and 6th, I believe it is. And that is free to all vendors. So the tables are free. We encourage all local artists to come out and show their stuff. They can sell it. Right,
you can put on your display. You can actually, if you want to, you can actually show people what you do, maybe do an interactive kind of thing. However you want to do it, we just want to have any local artists come out, and we're going to let you show your stuff, and hopefully we'll get a good turnout for that. That's, you know, a 2-day event set up hopefully on Friday afternoon, and it'll go all day through Saturday. And we'll have, you know, refreshments available at the Lions Club, and I know the Lions are really excited about it. We've been talking about it, so.
That's good, because the Lions will have a really cool painting on the building too, so that's going to be exciting.
Well, that all sounds really great. So what's the last thing on our list we want to talk about?
We want to talk about the garden tea that we're going to have, followed by the Dulcimer group.
Okay.
So this is going to be just a regular tea party, maybe a tea tasting. The Dulcimer group are going to come out and do a performance after that.
And it's a large group, I've heard.
Very large. I think there's like 20 some of them, yeah.
Okay.
And then after that, like a week after that, John Petnato is going to do a painting class, which are always well attended.
Oh yeah, I've been to those before.
Yeah,
those are fun.
Yeah, very. And this, I believe he's going to teach us how to do a still life this time. So you want to sign up early for that one.
Sounds good.
Yeah, and then there'll be lots more activities, and we'll have them on. I'll give you some stuff, for times and dates.
We'll have all the information on there. So if anybody wants to sign up for anything, did you want to give out the phone number or a website or Facebook page?
Yeah, absolutely. We have a calendar on our library page that you can sign up yourself.
Okay, that sounds good. And if anything else comes up, we will let you know about it, and hopefully we'll get a good turnout for this program. I know a lot of people are excited about it, and I hope that everybody can get a chance to come out and enjoy it with us. Hi, welcome back. So we have a new volunteer here, Karyl, who I'm sure you all remember, who's in charge of the children's programs, right?
Yes, that is correct.
Here at the Memphis Library. Thanks for stepping in.
Not a problem.
So what have you got planned? What's going on with the kids as far as the DIA Inside Out program?
Well, the first thing, and probably the one thing that I'm most excited about, is the I Spy program that we are going to be doing while the DIA work is in town.
All right, what exactly are we talking about?
Well, what I've done is I've taken a little picture of the artwork
Okay.
and put it on a clue. And they have to figure out which picture in town it goes to. Bring it back, and their name will go into a drawing for a prize.
And this is not just a one-time thing, it's going to be every week? Or?
Every week we will have a different picture that they have to find.
Oh, that sounds cool.
Yes.
I like that.
So for 9 weeks, I think there's 9 pictures coming.
Okay. And then the other thing that we want to talk about is the Exploring Great Artists.
Yes, and that is throughout the time period that the art is here, we are going to be looking at the different artists and kind of how they did their work, and then we will see if we can, I don't want to say duplicate because there's no way we can do that, but we'll try our hand at maybe painting like they did.
So you're going to do a little bit of background on maybe where they were from and
Yes.
when it was that they did their
They did it,
their
you know,
work.
whether they did it with oil paints or watercolors, whatever, and we will try our hand at painting as well.
Well, you know, I know you guys are always trying to make sure kids are here having fun. And that's what I'm all about. If we're out having fun, then everybody has
That's
a good time, right?
Yes.
So we got a lot of stuff planned, as you can see. There's more than we even talked about so far today. There's going to be more things planned throughout the community. All the progressive walk, all the kids programs, and there's probably going to be more, I would imagine, that we don't know about yet. But we'll get back with you on that stuff. But for now, that's all we have. And thanks for joining us on the Focus program, and we'll see you next time.